Now, me and Ant have a tried and tested formula. I buy great cars that need some TLC and sprinkle some mechanical love on those cars, and then I sell them.
What have you done to this car?
Ching ching.
You can't really hide this car, can you? Look at it.
And then came the 65 Baра쿠다.
There's a long road ahead. Best get the kettle on.
I bought a great car that needed TLC and sprinkled that no. It was going to cost too much money to get it over the line, and that affects my bottom line. So what did we do? We had to think about it for 12 long months. We decided upon the most ambitious build in 16 years of wheeling and dealing. Now the car will be niche, but I only need one buyer to make this work. We decided to build a Richard Petty 65 Baра쿠다 tribute drag race car. And then I may have decided to challenge three-time NHRA Top Fuel World Champion Antron Brown to a race.
I'll take that challenge.
Yeah? You
I got something special just in mind.
Really?
Just for that.
Now, with every car I've ever worked on, there's always a milestone. And the milestone's when it gets its paint. I mean, look at it. It's transformed from this mismatched orange rusty restoration project to this. So it already feels like a finished car. And I can visualise myself sat in the driver's seat. It looks absolutely brilliant. In fact, I utterly love it. I love the choice of colour, this Richard Petty blue. You know, I can visualise what it was like back in the day, him driving this, and we're going to be doing it now. Now, I could sit back and drink this all in and soak it up, but the reality is I can't. I've got tons of work to do, but more importantly than that, I've got someone coming today to check that work out. Now, this is a really important part of the process because of this chap here. His name's Pat, and Pat's a tech inspector. He's a scrutineer, and his job today is to come and check the roll cage to make sure that it's safe enough to compete. The reality is, if Pat doesn't pass it, I've just chucked a load of metal into a car for no reason. So I really need this certificate. So, Pat, have you got some good news? I passed. Now, if you ask any racing driver what they fear the most, they're all going to say the same thing: fire. After all, you are transporting a liquid bomb. But the industry's got better over the years, and now you have to have a fuel cell, which is a safer way of transporting fuel. Now, on the outside, there's this really strong metal case, and then on the inside, there's a softer rubber case. And basically, that's really good at absorbing an impact, so if I ever do have an issue, it's unlikely to spill fuel everywhere. Now, on top of that, that softer rubber case is actually filled with foam. It's kind of like a fuel-soaked bathtub sponge, and that's really good at stopping all that fuel sloshing about, so you get a consistent delivery of fuel from the cell to where it counts at our Hemi engine. Now, all of this fuel system is going to be contained within the boot of the car, and it's all going to be hidden behind a firewall, which I'm going to make here out of aluminium, so that if there is a fire, the fire's contained within the boot, or if the fuel cell does split, all that flammable liquid stays in the boot and away from the hot end of the car. And the idea being that it gives me just enough time to get out pretty quickly. This car's making some serious progress now. In fact, since putting the engine in, I've focused on the engine base. I've sorted out the cooling system, the braking system, and I've even had time to put some shiny bits on. But for now, it's all about the breathing. And I don't mean me, I mean the car. Now, this engine works exactly like an ordinary road engine. It takes fuel, and with oxygen, it burns it. And that explosion forces the pistons to move just like normal. And we can't really make any massive changes with fuel, but we can change the amount of oxygen we use. Say hello to my little friend, the supercharger. Just say the word and it sounds fast. And in some ways, a supercharger is just like a turbo in that they both jam extra air into the engine. And if you think about it, air, everything around us, is flexible. It can be squeezed and squished. In fact, if I took all the air in this workshop and with the right equipment, compressed it all the way down to something, say, the size of a teacup, it'll be the same amount of air, it'll just be under loads and loads of pressure. And that's what the supercharger's designed to do. It's designed to squeeze and cram as much air into the engine, increasing the pressure. Now, the thing is that fuel needs the oxygen element within the air to burn. And the air around us, the stuff that we breathe, is actually only 21% oxygen. which basically means the other 79% is just getting in the way. And to race, I want to burn lots of fuel. In fact, this car needs the worst fuel economy possible. So what if I could jam even more oxygen in there? So I'm sorry, Mike. I've gone rogue and I've made a purchase myself. Let me introduce you to my second little friend, this guy, nitrous oxide. See, this stuff's great because it carries way more oxygen. It goes from 21% to around 36%. And on top of that, it's stored in here as a liquid. So when it goes down the pipe, hits the intake, it suddenly turns into a gas. And that phase change means it also gets colder. And of course, colder air is more dense, and denser air carries more oxygen. Now, the hose plumbs straight into the intake here, right where the air enters the engine, which leaves me to fit this 10-pound canister in the obvious spare space for a race car, the passenger seat. Now, the rest of the kit comes with this adapter plate here that sits between the intake and the throttle body. And you'll notice that there's two inlets. One's for fuel and one's for our nitrous oxide. It enters here and sprays inside the intake via these tiny little holes. Now, on top of that, I've also got this adapter plate here. And this changes the bore size from a measly 85 millimeters, opens it up to a larger 95 millimeters. And the point of that is for this, an even bigger throttle body. Look at this, I can pretty much get my arm through it. And this is off a car called a Hellcat, which frankly just sounds fast. Now, this kit also comes with hoses, and this feeds the juice. So when I turn the canister on inside the car, it pressurizes and it stops here at the solenoid. So everything from here backwards actually sits at 745 PSI. That's 51 bar. That's an insane amount of pressure, but it's perfectly suited for our needs. Now, these solenoids are the gateway to getting nitrous into the engine. It's kind of like a tap. Now, one of these is for the nitrous itself and the other one's for extra fuel to keep it all balanced. Now, all this can be adjusted by changing the jets inside, and the kit comes with all these different sized jets, and they range, depending on the size of the hole, from this tiny little one, that's 50 brake horsepower, all the way up to this quite large hole, that's 250 brake horsepower. Now, I know the one I want to fit, but I'm not going to be reckless just yet. I'm going to take the sensible option, start on the small size and increase in baby steps. Now, the solenoids, they can open in a number of ways. I could automatically program them to the ECU or the rev counter so that they open without any thought at a certain rev range. Or, just like the movies, I can program them to go to a big red button in the dashboard. But I kind of think I'm going to want both hands on the wheel. Right, power check, oil check, coolant's in, fuel's in, everything's clear, I've got spark, I'm ready. Really, it only leaves one thing left to do. She works.
Pomona Raceway on race day, which is the best time to be here. Really, all the work, all the hours have led to this. The passion, the noise, the wobbly tyres in slow motion.
Oh my God, look at that. That's insane.
I know, right?
That's incredible. Wow, and I can't get my head around it. Seriously.
And you wanted to build a tribute car, a race car, We've come to Pomona, the home of the quarter mile.
Got to do it right. If you're going to do it, do it right. Yeah, it looks great. The colour is insane, isn't it? Got that 5.7 litre, all working nice.
Done.
You've got the Edelbrock supercharger, the
Done.
heads,
Done.
comp cam.
Done.
I see you've uprated the brakes.
Yeah, plus got new induction, new fuel system. I mean, inside here, the engine bay, this car's ready.
Oh, look at the wheels. The wheels look insane. It looks incredible. That's all we need.
Plus, look.
Oh, side draft exhausting. You've got that 9-inch rear end on, yeah?
9-inch rear ends on. This
Perfect.
car is an absolute machine.
Dare I say, just sitting here, looks really fast. Oh, right, here we go. Look, here comes this Antron fella. Antron!
What's up, fellas?
How are you?
What's happening?
Good
What's
to see
happening?
you, brother. Good to
What's
see
happening?
you. Yeah, very good. Now, listen, we are so excited because we built the best car we think possible, a 65 Plymouth Baраkuda. We've got a 5.7 Hemi V8 under there. We've got a supercharger from Edelbrock, got 2-speed power glide transmission.
Nice.
So what are you bringing? What's your car?
You're sitting on it. Don't let it fool you. The Camry.
What? You bought a rental car?
It's called the Sleeper Camry because you just slept on it. I'm about to put him to bed.
Oh my God, I cannot tell you how intimidating this is. Antron's there.
Oh, yes, like those tyres. If we can get this car in at about 11.5 seconds, I will be beside myself with excitement to think that we built that car.
What you got, Antron?
Oh, yes! In 11.2! Oh, wow!
Oh my God, he's quick! Holy smokes, he's quick! Oh my gosh! He absolutely smoked me!
Woo! It was a 9:05.
But we're only 2 seconds slower. It's nothing, is it? 2 seconds. 1, 2. That's all it is. I'm proud of that. I'm proud. My boy did it. And for once, he's been on the racetrack and it's not on its roof. Can't say fairer than that.
So frustrating. It's like the most unforgiving sport in the world. Fractions of a second is the difference between everything.
Here comes Antron. Yeah. And there's Ant behind him. Woo! Oh, they did brilliantly. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Oh, what can I say? What can I say?
Where is he? Where is he?
Hey,
What are you
hey.
doing? You absolutely
Don't
smoked
fight,
me.
don't fight.
You smoked me.
Yeah,
Oh,
smoked you. That
proper smoked me.
that was incredible. I mean, and let's face it, we built a car that goes a quarter mile in 11.2 seconds.
Yeah, just say that again.
Yeah, we built a car that
Yeah.
goes quarter mile in 11.2 seconds. Just salivate over that for a minute. Congratulations, by the way, for going 9 seconds. Yeah, but it was brilliant.
Well done, buddy. Well
Yeah,
done.
beautiful machine, man. Beautiful machine. And you know what? I can't call you a rookie no more. You did a good job.
Oh, that's the
You did a
nicest
good
thing.
job. You did a
That's
good
the
job.
nicest thing, yeah.
Did we record
Hopefully
that?
we got that down on tape. That was really nice, Andrew. Thank you. We fell in love with our Richard Petty tribute Baра쿠다 over the course of this build, and after seeing the response we got on the track, did we sell it? Well, let's just say it will live on in the NHRA Museum, so it can be enjoyed by drag fans forever. But I did it under the condition that they had to let us take it out for a spin every now and again. I am a wheeler dealer, what can I say?